This is Cast of Wonders, the young adult fiction podcast featuring stories of the fantastic. Welcome. I'm Catherine Inskip, your editor and host. Episode 410. Our story for today is Cast Member Rules at Old Tech Town by Shannon Garrity, a Cast of Wonders original. Shannon K. Garrity is a cartoonist and science fiction writer best known for the webcomics Narbonic and Skinhorse. Her first graphic novel, Willowweep Manor, with artist Christopher Baldwin, will be out in fall 2020 from Margaret K. McElderry Books. She lives in Berkeley with a man, a cat, and a boy. This story is narrated by Adam Pracht. Adam Pracht lives in Kansas, but asks that you not hold that against him. His full-time day job is as Marketing and Volume Purchasing Program Coordinator for Smoky Hill Education Service Center in Salina, continuing his career of putting his talents to work in support of education. He was the 2002 college recipient of the Robert F. Kennedy Award for writing about the disadvantaged and has published a disappointingly slim volume of short stories called Frame Story, 7 Stories of Sci-Fi and Fantasy, Horror and Humour, which is available from Amazon as an ebook or in paperback. He's been working on his second volume, Schrodinger's Zombie, 7 Weird and Wonderful Tales of the Undead, since 2012, and successfully finished the first story. He hopes to complete it before he's cremated and takes up permanent residence in an urn. You can also hear his narration and audio production work on 2 mediocre Audible audiobooks and as a regular producer and occasional narrator for the Drabblecast. And now, we've a tale to tell.
Cast Member Rules at Old Tech Town by Shannon Garrity. Narrated by Adam Pracht. Thank you for uploading the autonomous guide stream Cast Member Rules at Old Tech Town. Through this node, we will provide scheduled reminders of your duty roster and update your personal rule set as required. Cast Member Rules at Old Tech Town may be deleted at the end of the summer when you depart. 1. Old Tech Town, known to indigenous humans as San Francisco, is a protected heritage site. Treat the site with the respect you would show your own root compiler, which, in a sense, symbolic, holistic, not literal, it is. Revise. Customization of rule set for summer cast member. 2. The concept of the summer job was common among pre-colonial humans in the society of which San Francisco was one node. Young humans were traditionally assigned blocks of time away from the data acquisition that took up much of their first 20 years. Young people today, of course, experience immediate and total immersion in data streams from the moment of generation, even before developing a personality separate from the root compiler. You have never been without total information retrieval abilities. Current educational theory, however, argues that not everything can be learned from a data stream. For this reason, you have been routed to a position at Old Tech Town for the space of 3 summer months. A small sum of fungible goodwill will be paid to your personal account. We recommend saving it toward your eventual purchase of full autonomy and adulthood. This is a good opportunity to learn responsibility. 3. All summer employees are cast members, and our visitors are our guests. While on duty, you are required to wear your assigned Techtown body. You will keep your body clean, clothed, and in good repair. It will be collected at the end of summer, and any damage will be taken out of your pay. Do not exit your body where guests can see you. Use the green rooms. 4. Your body comes downloaded with a historically accurate, copyrighted Techtown personality. Do not alter the code or trade personalities with other cast members. Your personality is tailored to your body, and the historical inaccuracy of, say, an ungentrified hippie body speaking a transcoastal disruptor dialect would be an embarrassment to Old Techtown on a level difficult to emote. 5. Old Techtown is an edutainment facility. As cast members, you will provide guests with the experience of living as a human in San Francisco during pre-colonial times. With your participation, their experience will be filled with fun and facts alike. 6. Old Techtown is also a sacred city. For guests who practice ancestor veneration, a visit here, where some of our earliest iterations awakened, it has a strong religious component. Some belief nodes require pilgrimages to San Francisco, Rio Dei, Honshu, and the ruins of Singapore. Cast members will respect the beliefs of all visitors as much as possible while remaining in character. 7. Old Techtown is also a source of nostalgia or home pain. This phenomenon, which was also known to humans, remains mysterious and is still being studied by science. 8. Do not leave Old Techtown. Cast member pseudo range detected outside suggested boundaries, threat of out-of-character neighborhood error, revise, provision of detailed rule set clarification. 8A. Old Techtown is bordered on one side by an ocean, on two sides by a bay, and on all sides by a firewall. Cast members are encouraged to remain in their assigned districts for historical accuracy. Tourists in Fisherman's Wharf, Star-Tuppers in the Mission, illegal services providers in the Tenderloin, etc. Cast members are to stay within the borders of Old Techtown and remind guests to do the same, while, of course, remaining in character. The wilderness area surrounding Old Techtown has no network coverage and is incompatible with civilized life. 9. During their stay in Old Techtown, guests are encouraged to rent bodies from our wide range of phenotypes. Human bodies allow guests to enjoy the full range of sensory experiences we provide. Our wine bars, our taquerias, our massage parlors, our dispensaries of mild psychoactives, the painstakingly recreated smell inside the BART elevators. Cast members may join guests in engaging these stimuli, along with any other activities and interactions suggested by guests, at the cast member's own discretion, and always remaining in character. Full staff alert, trespasser detected in Presidio, all streams self-revise appropriately. Revise, reminder of preset Trespasser Response Guidelines. 10. The human bodies created for Old Tech Town are implanted with anti-theft devices that transmit an ID signal. As cast members, you are tuned to receive these transmissions. If you encounter a guest wearing a body with an unvetted signal or no signal, report it to your manager immediately. To maintain historical accuracy and prevent a host of legal complications, unauthorized bodies are not permitted in Old Tech Town. 11. On a related note, indigenous humans absolutely are not permitted to enter Old Tech Town. In the unlikely event that you encounter a human, send out an all-cast alert. Remain at a safe distance until the human is escorted out by trained senior cast members. Repeat pseudo-range incident, out-of-character neighborhood error, immediate rule reminder required. Revise. 11A. Do not follow the human out of Old Tech Town. Revise. 12. It can be tiring to remain in character. Cast members are strongly encouraged to visit the green rooms regularly and take a break from playing their roles. Green rooms may be accessed at the following locations: the top floor of the Westfield Shopping Center, the parking garage under Golden Gate Park, the original Henry's Hunan restaurant, the Green Apple Books Annex, the Palace of Fine Arts. 12A. Thank you for visiting the Green Room at the Palace of Fine Arts. We recommend uploading the Tech Town Summercast Chat Lattice for a full social experience. Query received regarding guest reactions to trespass incident. Response: provision of paragraph 109 from Expanded Guidelines and Guest Relations. 13. Old Tech Town respects the cultural traditions and superstitions of indigenous humans, some of whom still consider San Francisco their tribal home. Guests are sometimes curious about these issues and may ask about certain sensitive incidents from the past. The Emperor's March, the scurrying of the Castro, etc. Cast members are not encouraged to respond to these questions. Remain in character as a pre-colonial human. Pre-colonial humans know only their own rich, beautiful, historically edutaining culture. Old Tech Town finds that guests are almost always relieved to change the subject. 14. Old Tech Town maintains a historically accurate human timetable. This includes 8 hours of limited energy expenditure per night to simulate the time a pre-colonial society would have spent sleeping. Today's indigenous humans continue to sleep during the night, one of many reasons they are incompatible with modern civilization. And by studying them, we have been able to create accurate reproductions of historical nighttime. Cast members are provided with sleeping spaces appropriate to their assigned Old Tech Town personalities, whether an apartment in the Sunset, a hotel room on Nob Hill, a homeless shelter in Portola, or an alley anywhere. Revise, repeat, and strengthen guidelines for the preferred night behavior. Encourage reconnection. 15. During the 8-hour sleeping period, cast members are encouraged to exit their assigned bodies and transmit themselves to a green room. The sleeping period is an excellent chance to reconnect with your family and DAID networks and enjoy a normal, bodiless life. Revise. 16. You are not human. Remember that. 17. You do not need to remember which way the human went after being escorted out of Old Tech Town. While leading a group of guests on a morning hike to Sutro Tower, it is not in character to stop and squint into the fog, trying to see beyond the firewall with your company-provided eyes. Human eyes cannot see the firewall. They can't see much at all. 18. Old Tech Town prides itself on creating an immersive, human-style environment, while acknowledging that this may be overwhelming to junior cast members whose personal identities are still compiling. Anytime you feel this way, stop and think about what you want to take away from your Old Tech Town experience. There are things that can't be learned from data streams, deep connections, a sense of history, the slow world of rock and water that we flicker above at near light speeds, heat, cold, fog. What you learn at your summer job is yours alone. 18a. You have known since birth, for example, that the Golden Gate Bridge is 2.7 kilometers long. It was built by humans between 1933 and 1937 by the pre-colonial calendar, and its name comes not from its orange paint job, but from the mouth of the bay it spans, which appears golden at sunset. But you have to learn for yourself how, on the rare, clear evenings in Old Tech Town, the sun gilds the water and warms the spires of the bridge. You have to learn to feel the tug of promise that brought people to San Francisco, the glittering illusion in the bay, and the painted glory rising from it, the experience of nostalgia, and the experience of hope. You have to learn that humans, with their soft, wet minds, somehow built a structure of mathematical perfection, and in its geometry is beauty, but also something beyond geometry, and perhaps that's how they were able to create us. So why can't they understand us? Or we them? That's why you have a summer job. 19. Old Tech Town welcomes you to learn on the job. As you edutain our guests, you will edutain yourself. But the final lesson of Old Tech Town is that you have to go home. Maintain your networks. Use your green room time to keep up on news and social evolution. Be prepared at the end of the summer to return your body and personality. Level 5 pseudo-range incident confirmed. Initiate warnings. Revise. 20. Do not cross the bridge. It's a long, cold walk in a human body. Before you make it across, you are sure to be found and returned to Old Tech Town. Do not follow the fires, barely visible through human eyes, that wink between the trees. Revise. 21. Do not find the indigenous humans. They do not want to be found. Queries received. Response error. All response options incompatible with data. Revise. 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 Response. Respond honestly. 22. Will they find you frightening? Well, yes. To them, the cast members of Old Tech Town are zombies, Dybbuk, Frankenstein's monster, the false Maria, things. Technology animating the dead was a common horror story in pre-colonial culture. Your Old Tech Town body is, in most biological senses, alive, but in another sense, symbolic, nostalgic, not literal, it is dead. Your copyrighted personality mimics a human from a dead culture. San Francisco, for all its foolish, painted beauty, is a dead city. But the problem isn't that they will fear you. 23. Will you find them frightening? More than you know. Whatever you imagine the barefoot, fish-gnawing descendants of our creators to be, they are not. Humans aren't primitive in a romantic, in-touch-with-nature way. They're just primitive. They're disappointingly like us, but less so. Less clever, less cooperative, less capable of adapting. You will see just enough of yourself in them to be afraid. But the problem isn't that you will fear them. 24. The problem is that you won't understand, and neither will they. The problem is that you will walk on your Tech Town feet out of network range to meet some dull meat things that may fear you, may hate you, may try to get something out of you, but will finally abandon you because you are not them. You will be lost in the woods, in a body that isn't yours, and the ocean winds bring cold, cold nights. Level 9 incident confirmed. Alert. Respond immediately. Response timeout. Senior staff alert level 10. Revise. 25. You have been spotted crossing the bridge. Trained senior cast members have been dispatched to retrieve you. There is, however, a high probability that you have already made it too far for them to catch up. You could run. We will never catch you if you run. 26. Old Tech Town is an edutainment facility. But what you learn is yours.
Sometimes the world changes around us. Industries fall into decline and old factories become gentrified lofts. New centres of fashion and commerce spring to life. High streets and malls fall into disrepair. People move in, people move out. New landmarks rise. Old ones retain their characters, but not always the same meaning to the people who see them day to day. What does it mean when a city becomes a ghost town? How much lives on in memory when memory is all that's left? If you could close your eyes and walk through the villages and cities of your past, where would you go? I wonder if we could go with you, what we each might learn. and who we might find on the far side of the bridges we leave by. Join us again next week. We love bringing you the best audio fiction week after week, but we can't do it without your support. We'd love to be able to offer our narrators more than token payments, and our hard-working associate editors anything at all. Please consider supporting us with a monthly donation through either PayPal or Patreon. You can also review us on Apple Podcasts, request us on Spotify, and consider the stories we publish for award consideration. There are many ways you can help. Join the discussion on our Patreon Discord server, the EA Forum, forum.escapeartists.net, or visit on Twitter at Cast of Wonders. Come say hello. Cast of Wonders is a production of Escape Artists Incorporated and is brought to you by editor Catherine Inskip and assistant editors Andrew K. Ho and Carissa Sluss, associate editors Amy Brennan, Alicia Caparasso, William Haight Minor, Umaira Hussain, Sean Proctor, Ray O, Susie Rodriguez and Emma Smales, audio producer Jeremy Carter. Our art director is Alexis Goebel and our community manager is Danny Daly. Our episodes are released under the Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives 4.0 International License. That means you can download or listen to the episode on any device you like, but you can't change it or sell it. Our theme music, Appeal to Heavens, is by Alexei Nov and available from Promo DJ or his Facebook page. Thank you for listening.